Welcome, ranchers, to part two of creating what I'm going to call a mindful getaway for yourself. Um, Marcia, remind me again, what's a mindful getaway, especially if you were not with us last week, although you can find that recording in Bamboo. I defined a mindful getaway as something that would involve more than just squeezing in a good walk once a week. It's really a commitment, it's an actual intention to provide yourself with the gift of self care so you can experience a reduction of stress. And I was referring to a real simple article. That sounds funny, a real simple article. It was an article in the publication called Real Simple, where the author mentions that according to Kevin Carter, who's the CEO of Hilton Head Health and who puts together a lot of wellness kind of activities, that whether you get away and that getaway is at home or somewhere else, or you're just stepping away intentionally at work, that's where I find myself right now, for self-care. He says the idea is not to completely unplug from work, as that's usually just not realistic in today's world, but rather find a way to focus on your health, on your well-being, at the same time that you're focusing on your work. So let's think about that a little bit. Some of us might be able to, and that's why we were talking about, I think I misspoke even and mentioned something about January, February, which I was really trying to say, let's look at December and January, November, December, January, because there's an opportunity there due to weather, just due to the calendar, due to the fact that we may be doing things differently at our holidays, that you would be able to create some time for yourself, an hour, a half a day. If it can be a whole day or 2 half days, all the better. But if you can, and let your family know that you're going to do some things for your own self-care that you will create according to your needs, great. But maybe you just can't go that big yet. Or you're just not even sure how to do it that big yet. And you'd rather just create some moments during the day, during your work, whether that's away from the home or you're at home working, where you deliberately schedule. See, that's the key here, friends. It's last week you're going to, my little mug here, pause. You're going to pause so that you could deliberately figure out that you need this, that this intentional aspect of self-care is something you're going to provide for yourself. And that was the commitment to say, this time, Marcia, I'm joining you and I'm going to try something. Today, we have to focus on, okay, we have the intention, but that's not going to happen if we don't schedule it. There's only a minimum amount of time during the day. There's only so much resource called time. And so unless you schedule it and actually create a calendar appointment, like you would if you're going to the dentist or your daughter's dance class recital, or even if it's virtual, a friend's holiday birthday party or holiday Zoom party, you schedule it. Because when you set up your schedule, then you can address your specific needs. For example, I'm behind this desk so much during the day anymore that one of my needs is just to get up and move. So by taking a short walk, preferably outside if I can for some fresh air, and just a short time at work is really important to me. Or I like to incorporate the 3 breath exercise, which is really short and really quick, but allows my nervous system to settle as I focus on 3 breaths. Now, I can say I want to do that, but I found that if I just said that or even wrote a sticky, I love my stickies, and I put 3 breaths and I stuck it up here, I just still wasn't doing it. until I actually put it on my calendar. Or another idea I got was you could set a timer or like on your watch or where it bings, and that little ding that you hear, you pull away, you do your 3 breaths at that time. Scheduling it. See, our author reminds us that your schedule should include some sort of timing, depending upon when you feel it would work best. I mean, if you know you always have meetings at 9 o'clock, don't set it for 9 o'clock that you're going to get up and walk, because that just isn't going to happen. Try to schedule it in a time that you think would work well with what you believe your schedule would be. Now, maybe for some of you, you could schedule for a full week because you basically do the same thing every day. Sometimes I have to schedule the evening before the next day because I'm just that busy and I have to move things around and make sure that it happens. But this is intentionally making it happen. Now, experts would say for our own body wellness, it would be ideal, I guess, to set up some kind of practice in the morning, start your day. I mean, that can be grateful break. It could be a little time of prayer. It could be some stretching, a little yoga. A midday wellness break, which could be some of those things at work where you just take a little walk or you take a 3 breath break. And then something at night for relaxation and preparing for sleep. That would be ideal. If that sounds like that would work for you to have those 3 little segments, use that idea. Perhaps you can identify when your energy just feels like it's sapping out of you, like you just don't have any. Well, if at all possible, you could practice during that time to change up some things and say no, for example, if people want you to do activities that deplete you, because you know this is a time you already feel depleted. So you're going to say no, and you're going to make sure during that time you do something quick. Again, the 3 breath break, focusing on 3 breaths. Small, little, doesn't seem like it makes much of a difference, but I'm telling you, friends, it does. Ranchers, I've been doing it because I'm the most skeptical person that you could find when it comes to things like this. And it doesn't happen right away. And yeah, I thought this seems dumb or whatever. It just requires that you're consistently doing this for yourself. And what we're doing right now with this getaway is so you can experience what it feels like. You can have some self-care just for yourself, and you can start to maybe set up something that's more of a daily practice of self-care activities for you. Now, if you're going to set up a really big getaway, like a couple hours or a half a day, you got to plan your meals, snacks, and hydration, right? Because as long as you're going to be devoting time and energy to listening to this body and being good to this body, you should also think about what you're going to put in it. Staying hydrated is a big part, having some water, tea, staying away from sugary beverages. Plenty of healthy snacks lined up and ready to go. I always know if I've got my veggies all cut up, I'm going to use them. If not, I open up the fridge and I look around and go, I don't see anything, and then might go looking for some carbs or some of my favorite crackers. But if you've got those simple, easy cut up things already for you, you won't sabotage your body by doing and taking in things that will weaken your efforts and stress. Now, even if you're not going to do a full day thing, you're just going to add some during the week. If you're deciding for a week, I'm going to try to fit this into my work schedule, then for a week, why don't you try to hydrate a little better? Maybe you're going to try to stay away from some of the sugary snacks or the things that are down in the work break room. Those are all intentional decisions to spend more time on taking care of yourself and being aware of what you need. Now, for me, if I only did it for a week, I'd only be starting to get started. I'd only be starting to feel like, okay, maybe I can do this. So I usually try to set an intention for a 2-week period, if I'm going to do it that week, and try to work it into my daily routine. That usually gets my intentions just about right. Now, sometimes after 2 weeks, you start to notice that, yeah, I feel a little different stress levels and things. And my body isn't feeling quite as miserable, sick, and exhausted. And that's when sometimes 2 weeks then can be extended out. One such intention for me lasted 8 months. I'm not kidding, without a break. 8 months of really being intentionally self-care and healthy with myself. And then coronavirus hit, and then I allowed those unhealthy meals to start happening again. And then I let the clock here, my school clock is my ding in here. Then I started allowing myself to start going for garbage like my crackers and carbs, and the effects of garbage in gave me garbage out. And I'll be honest, I am not relating to stress the same. I don't feel I have the recovery and management. I don't feel I'm sleeping as well as I did before. And quite honest, ranchers, I'm ready. I'm ready to try this with you and make some time to say, hey, I've got to create a schedule and get back on my timeline. So next week, I'll share some concrete examples of activities that you might like to schedule into your mindful getaway. But to be truly honest, you probably know what you like. You know what you would love to do to nourish your body. You might say, I just want to stay in my jammies for an extra hour in the morning, or I want to get into my jammies after a great bath an extra hour earlier in the evening. It doesn't have to be, like I say, something totally new, but to truly be well, we need to nourish our body, our mind, and our spirit. And by creating this mindful getaway, it'll give us the perfect opportunity to do so. So pause this week, jot some ideas on paper or in your mind, what you'd like your mindful getaway to be scheduled. And what would your mindful getaway like to be involved in for both your body, your mind, and your spirit? Oh, one of the people I listen to at night to catch some of the news, she always ends her segment with, test negative, but be positive. And I truly hope that's the case for all of us. But even if that doesn't happen, or we're living with folks that are positive, we still can stay safe and be well. Bye now.